Good morning. Hello, Lita. How are you, baby? Can you hear me today? I've been working on trying to get my background thing right. How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Hmm. Hey, Rozzy. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay before I start running my mouth, chill. I'm good. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, perfect. Hey, Miss Andy. Good morning. Happy Monday. And it's afternoon over here. Y'all getting ready for work? Happy Monday. Let's go get this money. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to jump on real quick because, child, it seemed like if I wait any later, like all hell break loose on YouTube like every day. So I'm like, let me just go ahead on and do my live. Hey, Pammy, welcome in, baby. I'm like, let me just go ahead and do my live real quick so I can get one in because I was gonna go live yesterday and child, I just could not keep up. Lolita says, I took off today. I'm tired. Listen, girl, I took me a half a day myself. No shade. Plus, I had an appointment anyway. But I was like, you know what? Let me try to knock this live out real quick. And honestly, I'm trying to get my work schedule shifted anyway. So if this works out okay, like this might be around the time I go live every day. So we shall see. Hey, Treasure Life. Welcome in, baby. Um, so I wanted to talk to y'all real quick. I was gonna do Well, I ain't gonna do it, so I ain't gonna mention it because then y'all will be like, yeah, do the live, do the live. So I'm not gonna mention it. But I was gonna do a different topic, but I was like, you know what? Nah, let me do this topic instead, right? So anyway, lately, I've just been kind of blown away by the things I've been witnessing, here on the social media streets, right? And I keep asking myself, off today, washing clothes and listening, period. And I keep asking myself, like, why do people get off by like exposing people's like personal information, people's private lives, and things like that? Like anything that may be seen as humiliating or embarrassing, right? Like, why? I don't get the point of it. And I think it's so hard for me to accept it or understand it because it didn't used to be like this. Hey, Angie. Hey, what's the word? How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Um, but anyway, the way I've been seeing social media transpire, like in the recent, I would say months, but honestly in the last few years, I feel like it's just getting worse with time because people are so comfortable with, exposing people and humiliating people and things like that, like thinking that that's a form of entertainment. And it kind of makes me miss the days when social media was not that serious, right? Like back in the MySpace days, like it was all fun and games. Like we used to make our profile, play our music, change our background. It was just an aesthetic thing. It wasn't like this whole demonizing and embarrassing people and exposing people's private information. And now in this day and age, like that's a thing, right? Like people get off on that, and not just content creators, people who support content creators get off on that. And I don't get it. I don't understand it because it's all fun and games until you're on the chopping block, right? And I don't think people understand the seriousness behind that, right? And I think it's very inconsiderate for people to be so willing to do that to others, especially not knowing what people's current situation is, right? Just like with anything in the world, we present the version of ourselves that we would like for the world to see, right? So it's very intrusive and very invasive to expose someone's personal situations or their personal life, or I mean, even if it ain't like their situation, people's um like self-identifying, personally identifying information, dropping people's addresses, dropping people's, government name, and all that. Like people should have the right to decide whether or not they want to expose that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing to me, like how people put that stuff out there with no consideration for the person that you're exposing has a family. They may have a very important job. They may have, like, you don't know what people do in their real lives, right? And so by you getting off on that for entertainment purposes, you could really do some damage to somebody's life and or get somebody hurt. Lolita says grown arts women and men get off on being mean and evil online. It's crazy, Lolita. Girl, I'll be speechless. I ain't even gonna hold you because I just be like, what, like, where did these people come from? And the crazy part to me is, I've been on YouTube for several years, y'all, and I kid y'all not, I have never, ever, ever experienced this type of craziness on the platform. Like, never. And I'm honestly shocked and appalled. Hey, Lachelle's, I can't see you, baby, but hey, welcome in, baby. Um, I'm just shocked and appalled that, like, honestly, that the platform even allows it. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of laws and rules that do warn against it. Like, there are a lot of things that you can be prosecuted for, and because people have not been, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, it makes people feel like they're invincible or that they cannot be prosecuted. And unfortunately, that is not the truth, right? But it's just like with a kid. Sometimes you got to show people, you know, that there are rules and that you do have to follow them or whatever. So, anyway, as I was like in my thoughts about the whole situation, like I have to be honest, like we as humans, we're just curious beings, right? And we're often drawn to information that's hidden or private. And I guess it's just the mystery of it all. Like we just straight up nosy, you know? So I guess that could be a part of why, people enjoy or find it entertaining for people to be exposed or for you to see some part of someone's life that you're not supposed to see. But then I wonder, like, why does someone else's like misfortune or embarrassment or whatever it is that's being exposed, why does it become entertainment to the point of the misfortune itself becoming a mockery, right? Or a laughing matter. It's not funny, right? Like the stuff I'm witnessing, like the things that are being exposed about people, it's not funny. I don't find it funny. You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly say that even about people who I consider an enemy, you know what I'm saying, or an op, or whatever word you want to put there, I would never personally come on here and try to put someone in harm's way, mainly because I don't want to be put in harm's way, right? So I can dislike a person and not rock with a person or disassociate myself with someone and still not choose to be on demon time to the point where I'm putting them, their family into harm's way and all of that. And that's why it was very foreign to me when I became a part of the saga or I witnessed some of the stuff I saw in the saga, um, when people were like calling people's families and calling people's jobs, and I'm like, are y'all sick? Like, I thought that's the type of stuff you see or witness in a movie, right? Like, I'm like, there is no way people doing this in real life. Like, me and you going back and forth in any setting, right? We could be outside at the park. Does not warrant. I don't care what you said to me. I'm gonna go and try to get your job. Like, I'm gonna try to get you fired from your. Like, that's crazy. It's insane. And so the stuff I'm witnessing, like where people are okay with putting people in harm's way or exposing people in the worst way, contacting their family, contacting whatever they're connected to in their real lives, their personal lives, I just feel like it's reckless as hell. And honestly, it's bad karma. Like you're sowing bad karma all for shits and giggles, right? It might feel good now, it might pay well now, but what is it going to cost you in the long run, right? Um, but anyway, so then there's the psychology chats in me, right? And of course, I start exploring, different psychology terms about the situation. Because when I think of different topics that I want to talk to you guys about, I explore, like, because no shade, it's a lot of terminology out here for a lot of the things that we witness. We're just not familiar with it, right? And so there is a German word, and I will type it here in the chat in just a second, but it's pronounced Schadenfreude, right? And this is where people experience pleasure from seeing others suffer or fail, right? Especially if that person is in like a position of power or fame, right? They feel superior to others. They get off or they feel empowered by seeing others fail or suffer. Like that's what the term means and refers to, right? And so some people believe that exposing someone's personal flaws or their misdeeds or some form of mishap, right, is their form of justice, right? Especially if they feel that the person quote unquote deserve to be humbled, right? And we've heard people say that, like, you need to be humbled, you need to be humble or whatever. And so sometimes people like to try to take that into their own hands, right? And so it gives like a sense of balance, like where the exposure is making someone pay quote unquote, for their privilege or their perceived wrongdoing. And I mean, if you think about it, it's very judgmental. I'm going to type the word in the chat for y'all and pin it on the screen. Make sure I'm spelling it right. So this is the word, and I pinned it on the screen. And like I said, it's wait, did I spell that right? Yeah. Okay. Because it's actually a German word. Go figure. And I'm in Germany. But anyway, it's a German word, and like I said, it's pronounced Schadenfreude. Anyway, so with this, some people believe that exposing, like I said before, exposing somebody's flaws or their misdeeds is like their form of justice for the person, right? So exposing someone's personal life, especially when it includes like mistakes, failures, or like what they would consider a moral shortcoming, can allow people to feel superior over that person and about themselves and about their life, right? And so when people see others' personal lives exposed, it can prompt like social comparison, right? That's why you got people being like, "Oh, this person only get this many views. Oh, she's a nobody." Oh, that's a social comparison. Like people try to measure themselves up against other people based on what they feel like they know about the person or what they want you to believe is true about someone else, right? And so when it comes to social comparisons, it's like where people compare themselves in order to feel, better about their own life situations. And so seeing someone else's mistakes, flaws, vulnerabilities, or whatever can make people feel better about whatever they got going on. And so people often enjoy like the exposure of other people's personal lives because it confirms what they already believe about that person or that particular group, right? You've seen it yourself, even on social media. Soon as somebody's exposed, you'll have a bunch of people in the chat like, "Oh, I knew that person was this. Oh, I knew that person was that," and they ain't no shit. But because that's what they wanted to believe about the person, then it was, "Oh, I always knew this," or, "Oh, I always knew that." Hey, that one, welcome in, baby. Happy Monday, or whatever. And so anyway, if someone holds like a negative opinion about a person anyway, right? Seeing that person's personal flaws or struggles validated can strengthen their biases or their judgment against that person anyway, which makes them feel that their original opinion was correct about the person. And that may not necessarily be the case, especially if you're being told a lie, right? And this is why I'm seeing that it's so common and comfortable for people to now constantly defame people with no remorse, because they understand that if they can make someone look a certain way, it will be easy to convince individuals outside of themselves who want to believe the worst in that particular person. Like it's basically like bad bitches link up, respectfully. Right? Like if I already know you don't like this person and I don't like this person, it's gonna be easy for me to convince you that this person is an awful person because we already don't like this person. You know what I'm saying? And so because some people understand the power of that, right? Like if someone already has a negative opinion about somebody, it's gonna be easy for me to convince them that this person is what I say they are. And a perfect way to do that is to quote unquote expose somebody, even if the information is false. That's why you've heard or seen on social media like people making up fake receipts, fake messages, whatever it takes to try to paint someone into a certain narrative. Because if we link up and we don't like the same person, it's going to be easy for you to side with me because we both don't like this person, right? And I don't like this person, so it ain't going to take much for you to convince me that this person ain't shit. Hey, blessed beyond measures. Happy Monday, baby. Thanks for sharing this important information, Ashley. Thank you so much, Angie. You're welcome. Um, so anyway, so social media, I feel like, has created a culture of oversharing, right? Where both, whether it's a content creator or, a supporter or whatever, like people often reveal more about their personal lives than it used to be. Like I said, back in MySpace days, MySpace was just MySpace, right? People weren't coming on here out in their family, telling their personal business. Hey, Miss Vet, welcome in, baby. Happy Monday. But now, like that's the new norm. And this is why y'all hear me say so many times on my platform that therapy and stuff like that is so important, right? Because if more of us actually sought out therapy, right, then you wouldn't have people confiding in strangers about very important information, and then people weaponizing that, right? Or what is the word I'm looking for? exploiting it. Like you wouldn't have people coming online trying to exploit people about their personal life experiences, because what people are not understanding is when someone confides in you, like say I'm gonna pick on Angie. Okay, say me and Angie is cool in real life, right? Like we're tight. Me and Angie fall out, but when me and Angie was connected, she told me something about her life, like not YouTube related, but about her personal life, right? If I'm gonna expose Angie on YouTube, and y'all can vouch for this because I have exposed motherfuckers on here, right? But if you're honest, I've exposed things pertaining to the saga, right? Or conversations had about the saga. Hey, Free, welcome in, sis. How are you? Happy Monday. Versus me being like, oh, let me tell you all this personal information about Angie's real life, right? That's to me, those are two separate things. Now, I'm not saying that either or is better, more over the other, but I'm saying people cross that boundary when it starts crossing over into like now just gonna humiliate you about your real actual life. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put your real information out here, right? I think I heard that someone's social security number was put on like Facebook at some point in the saga, or people were calling the little child's hospital when he was getting cancer treatments, and like now you crossing lines, right? If we this is why I'm very big on saying things like keep the main thing, right? We can very much fall out and have words, but that does not mean that I need to dig into your personal life in an attempt to humiliate you because we fell out on the app. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that blows me when I talk about like the oversharing that we're seeing and witnessing as it pertains to social media, right? Because when we're seeing people be exposed, a lot of us, I know for me, I'm thinking like, yo, why would someone tell a stranger online that type of information? You know what I'm saying? Especially a content creator, or especially somebody that will make anybody content or any subject content, right? Hey, Bronx girl, welcome in, baby. That's my thing, right? And so we as a people as a whole, whether you're a content creator or a supporter, we gotta be more careful with information that we sharing, because we be oversharing and it puts us in a very bad predicament when it comes to this social media thing, because unfortunately people get very desperate, right? And when people get desperate or they begin to feel that their back is against the wall, you don't know what people are capable of or how far some people will go, right? Now, believe it or not, there are some of us on here that got some morals, right? And so there's certain things that like I've seen people talk about people's deceased loved ones and shit. You'll never catch me on here saying nothing like that. Like, baby, I don't even play like that because baby, I got family members that I don't want to pass away, and I know at some point they will. You know what I'm saying? So I would never say certain things out of my mouth. I don't care how mad I get as it pertains to certain subjects and certain topics, right? Like you're never gonna see me on here dogging nobody's kids. Like, oh, your kid look like this, or like you're just never gonna see me do that because I got kids, baby, and I'll pull up about mine respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to me, like how people will overshare things. And I get it. Like I said, when you don't have an outlet or people make you feel like you can trust them, because no shade, I have definitely been betrayed. Y'all seen it multiple times as it pertains to this app with people who I thought were actually a friend to me outside of this YouTube stuff, only for them to snake me in the worst way or share, information. And all I keep saying, and I've talked to my husband about this. First of all, let me pause for a second, y'all. Today is my wedding anniversary. We've been married 19 years. I just want to throw that out there. So, in case my hubby hear this, I love you, honey. It's been 19 long years. I can't believe I've been married to this man that long. I just want to throw that anyway. Throw that in there. Eddie says, or someone we don't know. Right, Eddie. I agree. I was saying the same thing in Sabrina's live the other day. People be too trusting online when it can be the exact opposite. Yes, Lolita. And it's crazy because what I can honestly say, my right hand to God, and I've made some connections. Like I said, y'all seen it blow up in my face a couple times here on the app. But what y'all ain't seen is Ashley Chat's personal business on here. No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Because first of all, what my personal life got to do with us having a conversation about YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Now we gonna chop it up about some YouTube and all of that. And there's been some small talk with people that honestly I am still connected to on the back end as it pertains to like my real life, like my kids or, something like that. But to be getting down into things that, in my opinion, could be seen as trauma or something very heavy, it's like there ain't no way I'm finna just connect with somebody on social media and be giving them that type of information because I fully understand. Like, let's be real here, y'all. Some of us got family members that will do some fucked up shit, right? And that's our blood, right? Thank y'all so much that's saying happy anniversary. I appreciate that. Hey, humble me, hype, welcome in, baby. Hey, I'm just me. Let me catch up. Let me catch up, y'all, if I lose my train of thought. Good morning, Ashley. We have seen how they can get right, Eddie. But actually, what I don't get is why anyone would trust somebody in the saga when some people's content has already been mean and evil. Why? That's what I'm saying, Lolita. But again, this is the point I want to make. Thank you so much, humble me hype. I appreciate it, baby. This is the point I'm making, Lolita. That is the perfect example of the fact that people have, like, let's be real here, right? Like sometimes we all need somebody to talk to. Hey D Ham, welcome in. Happy Monday. I think the reason it has happened, Lolita, as often as it has, is because people need someone to talk to, right? And let's be real, it's the females that's on here exposing people business. I ain't seen too many men come on here um exposing people like that, right? It's always women, right? Because women are catty, women can be jealous, women like to try to destroy other women. Like it's just cattiness with amongst women, right? But here's the thing, we all need somebody at some point to talk to, right? And so say you and I've been connected for several months and you've given me no reason to feel like you would backstab me, right? You share things with me, I've shared things with you, right? Whether that was on the phone or in a text message or whatever, you begin to feel like, hey, Lakey, I can't see you, but hey, baby, girl, you finna be happy, girl. Listen, Linda, just keep watching my shorts, Lakey. You'll be smiling here real soon. Anyway, but anyway, so we start, and it's, I guess it's just a misjudgment. But the thing is people will misrepresent themselves, right? And so you start thinking that you can trust this. I kid you not. The two people have snaked me the worst on this app. You would, especially the last one, you would have, there would have been nothing you could have convinced me to believe that she was like the way she is behaving. You would have not been able to convince me that she would ever do that. Absolutely not. Which was why I protected that particular person because I felt like she was my friend. Like, regardless of what we went through on the back end, there I'm like, that's my friend. I'm not gonna bring it to the front end because I really consider her a friend, right? And so when you connect with people like that in your real life, right, and you don't do the work on self, like you don't seek therapy, you don't, and the blessing for me is I've been to school for psychology, right? So I understand the importance of therapy. And even if you're not going to seek therapy, I understand you have to let out and deal with those emotions, right? So whether you're journaling or whether you're confiding in someone, shout out to my husband, like I said, love that man to death. We've been together a very long time. Our anniversary is today, but that man is literally my best friend outside of my dad. I can talk to my husband about anything, right? And if I say, hey, Amber, welcome in, baby, happy Monday. If I tell him I don't want this to leave, I don't care if it's my mom. I don't want nobody to know this. I trust him with my life, right? He's not going to tell a soul because he understands and I understand, like that's the bond that we have built, right? So if you don't have someone in your life like that, right? And not all of us are blessed to have those type of connections or people that we can trust or just a safe healthy outlet, right? Unfortunately some people just don't have that, right? And it don't help when we come on social media and spaces like this, right? And people are steady backstabbing and steady exposing people and all. It just makes all of us even more guarded, even with people that we love and trust, because it's like it's unbelievable the level of betrayal that people are doing, all for the sake or for the I don't know the what word am I looking for? I guess I could say the sake, all for the sake of making money or all for the sake of a like and a view and a share, right? Never mind the trauma you're causing, right? Never mind the damage that you're causing. Never mind the relationships that you're impacting or tearing apart or none of that, right? Like people get so wrapped up in, well, this what I need in the moment, right? I'm going to do this so I can make this money or I can get these views and I don't care about that person because my check's going to be good, right? Or people on the app going to love me for exposing this or never mind all the damage that you're going to cause in between. So I know that was a long explanation, Lolita, but I really feel like that's why people are feeling or they're getting caught up with, oversharing because they don't have like real outlets in their real life that they can talk to on a regular. You know what I'm saying? So then they start feeling close to this stranger online, thinking, "Oh, it's harmless." And then as soon as somebody get mad with you, or they want to switch up, or they want to get mad, because that's exactly what happened in the last situation that I had. The person got mad because I chose to forgive somebody that she didn't want me to forgive, which is the corniest craziness and doesn't even line up with what her morals say. Right? If you busting down church and Bible scriptures and all of that says forgiveness and moving on and showing love and all of that. So then I extend the forgiveness and the love to somebody and you get mad. It's the craziest thing ever. And so then, like I was saying in the word that I'm talking about today, Shadon Freud, people feel like they have the right to issue you what they feel like you should get to humble you or to make you fall in line for how you should be or how you should behave because they don't like what you did or they don't like how you act or behave. And it's weird and crazy because it's almost like an act of control. And let's be real here, we can't control nobody. The only people we can control is ourselves. So let me catch up on these comments, y'all, before I keep talking. Um, Ashley chats. Lakey says happy anniversary because you can't see her. Oh, thank you so much, Lakey. I appreciate that, baby. Miss Vet, if I didn't speak to you, hey, baby, welcome in. Eddie says some of them ran a background check on people. Exactly, Eddie. Like it's just crazy, and it again, it's so invasive. You know what I'm saying? Like, child, I don't want to say too much, but let's just say this conversations that I've had outside of YouTube with people who don't know nothing about this, and I've just kind of touched on this, like, oh, this is the stuff that happens on there. People were blown away. Blown away. Like, what? This happens on YouTube? Yeah, this happens on YouTube. They be like, man, this is too much. Yes, but not strangers online. Hell, I already have trust issues, so I would never trust her. I agree, Lolita. I agree, Lolita, and that's why I said you done seen some text messages exposed on me, baby, but you ain't seen Ashley Chat's personal business. No, ma'am. Girl. I mean, you don't, and that's why y'all don't see me on here vlogging about my personal life. Like, I feel like unless you create your channel like that, right? People don't care about what you got going on in your real life. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that do, they want to use it to um they want to weaponize it in the future and they get pissed off. Like that's why y'all don't see me really posting my kids or my family or that, because soon as somebody get mad, then now your family pictures in somebody else's phone, or people want to make your pictures they thumbnails, and like people get weird, or they take your picture and put stuff on it and make you look crazy. And I ain't got time for that. If you gonna troll me, just troll me. Don't troll my kids, don't troll my family. Like, just make the problem between you and I. And people can't do that. So hey, Shanta, welcome in, baby. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Angie, you feel me? No, for real, Lolita. Trust me, I feel you. Amber, when I tell you, you had me hollering yesterday about that D-Ham and women's business, I was dead. Listen, Amber's laugh is so contagious. You be laughing and don't even know why you laughing because of Amber's laugh. She is hilarious. I was weak. Hey, Hazel Eyes. Happy Monday, baby. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Um, Lolita says, I love how you give a deeper look into the psychology and potential reasons behind these people's behavior. Yes, Lolita, and I try. Because, it's one thing to just come on here and just make things worse, right? But I feel like if we can make it all make sense, like sometimes, I mean, it don't like it doesn't excuse the behavior, but I feel like it'll give you like a sense of peace of like what you're witnessing, right? Because I feel like a lot of us get so irritated with what we're witnessing because we don't understand it, right? And it's like, what the hell? Like, why are people like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, let's be real here. Like, we're all adults, and so the things that we're witnessing is mind boggling. Because it's like, is your life this bad to where like you think this is normal? You know what I'm saying? Like to demonize and destroy people or purposely start a fight between family members and shit like that. Like it just gets weird, right? And it's like nobody in their right mind that really has like a productive life or a life that they love or that doesn't have a lot of extra stuff going on, right? Nobody's gonna come on here and deliberately do that over and over again, like regularly, like it's a habit, like it's a behavior pattern. People not gonna do that, right? Like sometimes we might do that by accident or not even on purpose. Like sometimes you can start some shit and that wasn't the intent, but it is what it is. And then you got those that obviously that was the intent, right? And it's just sad. And honestly, in my opinion, it's desperate, and I'm not saying that to be funny. Like that's literally how I see it because the way I justify the craziness that I witness and see on here is that these people gotta do this. Like I'm like seriously, because I'm like, ain't no way life is good, your money good in real life, you happy, you like let's be real here, y'all. I gotta find time to go live, right? Like it could be a different. That's why a lot of us content creators, if y'all pay, like y'all don't see a lot of content creators really scheduling a live. We just go live when we can because people who got real stuff going on in real life ain't got time to come on here strategically multiple times in a day to start some shit. Like that. I don't have time for that. Like, and the way my brain set up, I like my peace. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't see myself doing it. I don't have time to do that. Like my day is full. Like I literally had to figure out, okay, I got a space to go live. Let me just go ahead on and go live. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some other stuff to do later. So it's just crazy. Hey Latoya, welcome in, baby. Thank you so much, that one. I appreciate it. Humble Me Hype says, talk about it, spoke about this on my live this morning. Humble Me Hype, I was actually almost halfway through your live before I started this one. So I'm going to go back and finish it. Happy anniversary to my brother and sister. Thank you, sissy. I appreciate you, baby. I was gonna post a picture, but I'm like, Child, I already got people on here stalking my Instagram that are blocked, and I don't know how the hell they still getting pictures of my husband and shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I ain't gonna post nothing. But I want y'all to know, yes, today is my anniversary, and it took us 2 to 3 years to realize that we got married on St. Patrick's Day. That was not done on purpose. So yeah. Right, that's why I don't post my family on social media like that. People so envious of you, what you got going on. Exactly that one. I kid you not. After that shit happened to me a few days ago, last week, I started to completely delete the little family thing off of my Instagram. Like the little bubble at the top. I have a family bubble. That's where it came from. And I'm just like, damn, like it's crazy. This is my page, right? And I create folders and albums and things of pictures and memories of my family so I can go back, in times when I want to reflect on my family and things we've done and shared. Like we've traveled the world, we've made a lot of memories, and it's invasive, right? For people to get angry with you in a moment and go into your freaking social media and use it as a weapon. That shit is corny as hell and it's insane, right? I have not argued with a single person on this app or anywhere in real life to where I have gotten so mad that I'm gonna go look up who the person related to and try to talk shit about. Like that is, it just does not make sense to me, y'all. Like I can't make it make sense no kind of way. I just it don't make sense. Like what does your husband or your kids or your grandma or your auntie got to do with the fact that I think your ass is a bitch or that you ugly or you're bald headed or whatever it is that I think about you? What do your family got to do? It's the corniest shit ever, and it makes people, like I said, we're already in a very guarded like society, right? That's why people struggle with dating, right? That's why people's relationships fail because in this day and age, trust is an issue, not just relationships or romantically. In general, you can't trust nobody for shit. Like people get angry and they get crazy. And it's like, what the hell? Like, do you know how it feels for me to have to sit down and be like, damn, should I take all of my family pictures offline, period? That's not fair to me. But because people use it to weaponize, or when they get mad, people use it to trigger you or to purposely attack you. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you defend that, right? So it's either leave it up and just know what come with it, or take your shit down, you know what I'm saying, and hide your memory. Like, that's crazy. It should not be like that. It's the craziest shit ever. Amber has the cutest laugh. She do. She's hilarious. Amber had me rolling too. Ashley, that was hilarious. Damn, I was dead. And you changed the name. DM changed his name to the. I remember you said that in her chat. DM in women's business. I am dead. Oh my god. Yes, Amber and Ebony always make me laugh. Yes, Ebony funny too. I love her. Repeating that someone doesn't like their mom is the lowest of the low. Right? Like, it's just horrible, yo. Hey, Miss Judy, I can't see you, baby, but welcome in. And that's the thing too, Free. It's like, again, some like I have people that I talk to in real life, right, outside of the app, that I met on the app. And you could not pay me to come on here and humiliate anything that we've talked about. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's some saga related, then whatever. Like, if it came to that. But it's like, why? Why are people like as if all of us ain't been through some shit. Like, let's be real. Like, I may not have the same experience as you, right? But that don't mean ain't nothing fucked up ever happened in my life, right? Whether it was my fault or not, whether I could control it or not. So why? I don't get it. Like, how does that become a mockery to the point where it's entertainment, right? Like, how are you that mad or triggered by somebody to where you start laughing or picking at people's traumas or experiences that they've gone through, or making up some shit that never even happened just so it can misrepresent them in a certain way, and then you get your ass offline and go to sleep at night like nothing happened. That shit is crazy. Like, and then people wonder why you have people saying things like people are demonic, and like that shit it sounds demonic. Don't mean you demonic. I mean, hopefully you're not, but it's like, it sounds crazy. The shit sounds crazy, like, to be that bothered by somebody you don't know in real life. That shit is crazy. It don't make sense. This has been disappointing to me. Telling someone something that is personal business ain't cool, and this person should never be trusted. Isn't that against the law, though? It is, Eddie. It is. It is. And a lot of states recently made it a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm telling you, and I've said this before, as it pertains to your legal rights, right? When you are a victim of someone harassing or maliciously attacking you online, I encourage all of you to exercise your rights. Period. Like, and people can call it what they want. I heard people saying, "Oh, people weak as hell for that." Listen here, I'm gonna say this loud and clear, right? I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna keep moving with my topic, right? You are not weak, right? Because you decide to hold somebody accountable for defaming you or attacking you or harassing you online or in real life. Okay, that don't make you weak, right? It shows strength, right? It also shows self-respect, right? Defamation is a real thing, y'all, and it can harm people's reputation. It can mess up people's livelihood. It can fuck up your mental well-being, and that you deciding to stand up for yourself in that way is to protect all of those things that I just named. Hey, Kimberly, welcome in, baby. So you protecting yourself and advocating for yourself, and demanding people respect you or give you the same respect that you're giving to them, right, does not make you a weak individual. So fuck what you heard, respectfully, right? It's about setting boundaries and demanding accountability for actions that have impacted you negatively. This is your life, right? And it can also be a way to show others that you won't tolerate injustice or mistreatment. If you ain't out here defaming nobody, nobody has the right to come out here and defame you. Period. Like, it's crazy. It's just like people who cheat in a fight. Just because you lose in a fight does not mean that you get to come out here and pick up a brick and bust somebody upside the head. Like, no, come on now. Or people who, like, you've seen on social media, people fight. I think I might have mentioned it on a previous live, but there was a girl on Facebook Live, and she was talking shit with this girl. They going back and forth, back and forth. The girl tell her to pull up. She left her kids at home sleep that night, y'all. Went to go fight the girl, and she wanted an honest fight. The girl tell her to come on, come on, come on. She walked up on the girl, and the girl shot her. Now, how the hell is that fair? Y'all both talking shit. You told her to pull up. She pulled up to fight you, and your ass knew you couldn't fight, so you shot her. But that's how it is on this social media streets, right? Like me and you going back and forth. You ugly, you ugly. You bald headed, your mama bald headed. Da, 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 da. Now because you feel like I said something that hurt your feelings a little more, now you gonna go dig up my background. Now you gonna go contact my family. You gonna go like no, that's not a fair fight. I ain't contacting your people. I ain't looking up your background. Like, come on, fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? People going back like I feel like I can only speak for me, but I feel like most adults, right, with a brain, common sense, regular people are okay with you call me a name, I'm gonna call your ass a name. You call me fat, I'm gonna call your ass fat. Or, whatever. You call me black, I'm gonna call you black. Whatever, right? But then when you start crossing into personal territories and attacking people's children and you're accusing people of being mental and making up fabricated stories and shit. Like now you done went all out of bounds. Like girl, get back in the court. But that's what happens here on social media. And then now you go out of bounds. So now this other person feel like they can go out of bounds and then there's no point of return. People just attacking each other and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Free says, can we get 40 more likes? Yes, y'all hit the like for me. No, no pixies. Welcome, sis. No, for real, free. Hell, they done seen what he looked like, child. So it's really no reason for me to to post him. But let's just know, girl, he's still here. Turn up tonight. Do you hear me, Shanta? Shanta, girl. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Ashley. Hey, Angela. Welcome in, baby. Thank y'all so much for all the anniversary love. I appreciate it. Alita says that one right. Hell, I got pissed at my son for posting the inside of my home online. Not because it's not nice, but strangers don't need to know my sanctuary looks. Exactly, Lolita. And it's crazy because now you got weird stuff online where you can literally take the picture of somebody's house and find out their address. Like, it's the child, this social media shit is out of control. Like, and it's sad that you got to protect yo. I'll kid y'all not. I remember I had y'all know how they do like the yard cards, where it's like the big happy birthday, whatever for your kids. Before we came to Germany, I used to do those every year for my girls. And I remember the first time I did it, I had posted it and I did like I was like playing the music and I came around the back of my house, like the back of the neighborhood, so that we could pull up because my daughter was on the side of the car behind me. I was driving and I wanted her to see it when I was pulling into the garage. So I let all the windows down, I got the music up and I'm recording because I want to know her response or whatever. And I'm like, not even thinking. I'm just showing the little yard card, not realizing my house is behind the card. Not, again, being regular. And I kid y'all not, I had a family member calling like my grandma, like, oh, actually done bought another house, like, da 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 da. And so then, of course, my dad called me and I hit the roof because I'm like, what the, I'm like, that is not why I posted but that particular family member took it like I was trying to brag, like, oh, look, she trying to show off her house, blah blah blah. Girl, at that point, I bought a house like 2 years ago, right? So it's like it's crazy, like how you can't even celebrate regular shit in your life now because you're gonna have somebody somewhere watching your shit so that they can use it against you or try to make some shit out of nothing, right? A mountain out of a molehill. Like, oh, it's this big old deal. She trying to flex. She trying to, and it's like, girl, I was trying to I wanted my daughter's response to the yard card because that shit was expensive and you only get it for 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? And those were experiences that I didn't get as a child, right? My mom ain't do all the birthday celebrations and all that. They didn't have yard cards and all the stuff we can do for our kids now, right? So I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna have a great. I told y'all, birthday is a big deal in my house, so I'm struggling over here in Germany because it's different over here, trying to celebrate and stuff. But I'm like, that's crazy, a little situation like that. So guess what? Now when I take pictures, if my house is in the background, I'll blur the shit out, or I'll change the angle of the count of the camera, or I'll put my neighbor's house or some shit in there like that because you got people plotting or getting angry or envious about your damn life, and you ain't even on that. I'm like, what the hell? Would you prefer me to be homeless? Like, why was you worrying about if I bought my house? I was like, hell, how she even know it was my house? Like, child, I was just over it. Hey, good morning, baby sister. Kiana with the Q. Hey, baby. With the recent investigations they had, how come a certain name isn't on the list? You know what, Eddie? I don't know. But trust, I'm sure that name is on another list, baby. Just hold your horses. Um, hey, Robin, welcome in. That one says, "Hey, D Ham in women's business." Child, I am dead. D Ham, that name is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Hey, Kim's reactions. If you're still in here, baby, thank you so much for that anniversary love. I appreciate that. Let's say it says, problem is with some of these people y'all get into it with has mental issues. Some are abusers. Y'all don't know their real life outside of YouTube. The background can be sealed, can't shown by law. Right, Latoya. And you know what's crazy? I find it very interesting that people who victimize other people's backgrounds have theirs sealed. That ain't, again, it's not a fair fight. I mean, damn, if you're gonna be background checking everybody else, then your background should be up for grabs too, right? But people don't fight fair, so all my children is grown and she rarely posts on social media because she's too busy working and enjoying life. Exactly that one. I was on the phone with my mom last night and she told me she finna deactivate her social media period because she over it. And I told her, I said, Mom, to be real with you, like if I was not a business owner, like I have different, like people have to get in touch with me through social media, and like I would deactivate all my shit. No lie. Because your roast was funnier. Now they mad and want to be on demonic shit. Right? Exactly. That's literally what it is, Lolita. And it's not fair. It's not fair. I mean, damn. Like if somebody funnier than you, then they just funnier than you. Just don't listen to the shit. But you and people that said some heinous shit about me, and I still ain't never felt like, oh, let me go look up if they've ever went to jail. Oh, let me go look up if they owe some money to somebody. Oh, let me go see who they mama is. Let me like that shit is crazy. Like, damn, are we in middle school? Like, we in elementary school writing notes home to parents and shit? Like, the crazy part is most of our parents don't even be on YouTube or social media, period. Hell, that's why they got the same profile picture for 55 years. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't gonna know what the hell you talking about anyway. So you just stirring up a bunch of confusion for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you like for me to contact your mama and tell them what type of demon shit you on? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just social media. The shit's crazy. That's why people be so jealous. For real, Divine. Hey, Chosen. I can't see you, baby, but welcome in. Good morning, I Starve Narcs. How you doing, baby? Hey, Tennessee girl. Uh, so anyway, let me get back to my notes, y'all. I don't went off on a tangent. So yeah, so just y'all be careful with that oversharing in real life and on social media. Like as y'all can see, people use it to weaponize. Motherfuckers got messages from 4, 5 years ago, making people look crazy or trying to like the shit is crazy. It just doesn't make any sense. It don't make no sense at all. And I feel like people might enjoy exposure because it's been so normalized on social media, right? Like um it makes people feel like it's more acceptable to watch or participate in drama that unfolds online. Like I said, of course, until it's them, right? So as personal information is shared more and more online and exploited online, people may become desensitized to the harm that it actually causes by being like by exposing people, right? And so the more people are exposed to others' private lives, the less likely they are to recognize the impact that it actually has on the individuals involved, right? And it's just crazy and it's honestly hypocritical, right? Um, but I feel like if a person feels that another one has wronged them or others, like by witnessing that particular person face their quote unquote consequences, right? Like people like to try to serve karma themselves, like whether that's with public humiliation or public failure or public loss or whatever. I feel like it just basically gives them a sense of satisfaction. Because why else? And the thing here, though, is the hypocrisy of it is these type of people who practice Shadon Freud, right? It lies in the fact that they often take pleasure in the misfortune of others while conveniently ignoring the potential for their own downfalls, right? Or their own misfortunes, right? And then it highlights the fact that it's a double standard in their own emotional reactions to other people's experiences versus their own. Like it's just hypocrisy, period, right? People who take pleasure in the misfortunes of others, they often overlook the basic truth that anybody can face challenges or hardships, right? I told y'all, and I did a live on this not that long ago. It might have been on my other page. I'm gonna check because if it is, I'm just gonna upload it to this one. But I talked about the cycle of life, right? Life comes in cycles. It's not always up for none of us. We're going to have ups and we're going to have downs, right? So while it feel good up here, while we looking down on others, at some point you're going to tank. Okay? Like that's how life is. Life comes in cycles, right? And so they may enjoy seeing someone fail or suffer, but they would not wish that same treatment for themselves. And that's why I said it's all hypocritical when it comes to this particular word and topic. Gigi says, "Hey Ashley and Chet, I just came through to hit the thumbs up, showing your page some love. Thank you so much, Gigi. I appreciate that, baby." Kim's reaction says, "I've had the same Facebook since 2009. I've had so many pictures on there. I've been thinking about saving all my pictures and deleting the page. I even have my old high school teacher on there." It's just crazy, and it's just sad. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like social media could be a really great thing, right? I've met a lot of people, y'all, because my husband and I have traveled so much. Like, today we've been married 19 years. In November, my husband's been in the military 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen a lot of the world together. Like, my entire adult life, I've been with my husband. And so it's just sad that all of the memories we've had and all of the things that we've shared, I've gotten to a point in my life where I feel like I have to wipe my social media because, like, it's like the more you establish yourself in the social media world, the more people try to attack, right? I'm sure you guys have heard Dodash. Like, that is somebody, man, it's so many people on her heels. Like, it's insane. And no shade, rightfully so. She does move weird and kind of give scamish in some ways. But my thing is, how do you make somebody else's YouTube channel your content? That shit is crazy to me. Like, to me, it just looks very haterish, right? If she's scamming people and she, whatever, like, let that girl do her. At some point, she's gonna reap what she sows. There is no way I'm gonna get up every day and go to her page and see what she did wrong and then come make a video about it. It's the craziest shit ever. And I've seen so many content creators jumping on that bandwagon to try to draw attention to this girl as quote unquote a scammer. And it's so crazy to me because it's always people who have way less support than her. It's just crazy to me. It's like, and you think that this is going to build your page up. That's not how you build, y'all. You cannot build off of being a hater. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless someone has negatively impact your life or negatively impact your platform, like, you can't build from that. Right? And there's this one content creator, and she's a woman, older woman, of course. And she done went so far as she done did the girl background. She's like, I seen her do a video, and she's like, yeah, and I know where you live. And yeah, she's calling her by her government name now. And I'm thinking, like, yo, because I am someone who my government name was posted maliciously, and it don't feel good. Because it's like, why? First of all, who are you to decide what personal information you get to share on somebody else? That shit is crazy. Like, you're crossing boundaries for what? And I'm thinking to myself, what did this girl do to you? Right? That made you feel like that you are justified in doing this. That's her platform. If she's breaking community guidelines, that's between her and YouTube. Unless she's doing something to harass you or mess up your platform or whatever, like, let her do her. It's the craziest shit ever. And what I feel like that it's so common now for content creators to do that type of shit because they're lazy content creators. It's so much easier to tear down somebody else or scrutinize somebody else or judge somebody else for what they're doing wrong versus actually coming up with content. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy as hell. Like, get creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all see me do psychology terms about things that we're witnessing together. Like, this is what I'm seeing, and this is a term for what we might be witnessing. Not me going to somebody's page and breaking down, like, let me show you her video where she said this, and I'm gonna critique it, and I'm gonna tell you where she's wrong, and she's a scammer, and this is her government name, and she lives in this city, and, like, what are you doing? Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? And then I see content creators who do give, constructive criticism. Like, hey, you know what? I don't agree with this, and this is why. And they can give you an intelligent reason for why they don't agree with it and how the person could move differently. You know what I'm saying? Not just, oh, she's a scammer and you guys need to stop giving her your money. And you, like, come on, yo. That's too much. That is too much. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Shanta says, with some things, overboard can be irritating or even become disgusting. Exactly, Shanta. And that's how I felt. Like sometimes just sitting back watching it all, it's too much. I can't watch it. I'm serious. Like I've had to leave some chats because it's just overwhelming. And I don't want to be triggered to where now I feel like I need to speak up for somebody and it has nothing to do with me. Because I've done that times before and the shit just gets me in hot water. Like you can mean well and try to defend people and that shit'll backfire on you. So I will just eliminate myself from those situations and then it just eliminates all of the emotional attachments to it. And I feel like if more people would do that, a lot of the stuff that happens on here would die down. Too many people getting too invested and too involved and it just ends up in a shit show. I Starve Narc says social media is overloaded with people who suffer from arrested development. It's sad to watch. I'm telling you. Eddie says it's the most immature and childish thing that anyone would do. Right, Eddie, it's too much. It's too much. Oh, you don't agree with me? Let me humiliate you. Like that, it don't even make sense. That shit is crazy. Hey, A Stokes, welcome in, baby. Thank you so much, Divine. I appreciate you, baby. Lolita says it could be a great tool. I found my sister on my dad's side through Facebook. We met up and had a great time. Exactly, Lolita. And that's what I'm saying. That's what really social media is for. Business owners, ways to stay connected. And I'm glad you said it because I realized now I had got off track. That's why I was mentioning how much me and my husband have traveled around the world, right? We've met people from all over and I've still been able to stay connected and remain connected to those people. And the amazing thing about that is, like for instance, when I was in Texas, I was doing hair full time, right? Like I didn't work in Texas, I just did hair, and it took off for me. I was just in child. Texas is full of people. Okay, it's overcrowded. Hey, Shay T, welcome in, baby. Anyway, so then I was gonna move here, and of course, my clientele was just devastated. They like, oh my god, who's gonna do my hair? Well, one of my hair clients stayed in touch with me through Instagram and she wrote me like a month, maybe 2 months ago. And she's like, hey, we got orders to Japan, right? Well, guess what? I have a client in Japan right now that I met from another base many years ago, right? So I was able to connect the two of them so that she could not only get like a hair recommendation, but she could kind of get the scoop because they're two black women, both gonna be living in Japan. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. It's like social media can be an amazing networking tool. It can be an amazing, like I was able to grow my business in Texas because of social media, right? A lot of you guys have placed a bling order with me because of social media. In spite of people attacking my page, in spite of me being demonetized for a while, all of those things, right? I still have been able to make it lucrative for me as a business owner because it can be a great tool that you don't have to use to tear down somebody or you don't have to use to demonize somebody. So many of us have so many talents in different ways, right? We're not all the same. Right? We don't all do the same things. We're not all talented in the same ways, right? So if you spend your time doing your thing, right? Like shout out to Miss Foxy and Alexis. Both of them post like different cooking meals and things like that. I'm intrigued by that. You know why? Because I'm a mom of three who don't be having a lot of time to cook all the time, right? So I like watching their shorts because they can show me in 30 seconds or less or a minute or less how they prepare a whole meal. The shit looks good. Boom, now I got another dinner idea. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you come on my channel, you're probably not going to see cooking, tutorials. I might have done one or two a long time ago, but that's not really my content. You know what I'm saying? So if people could focus on what they are good at, right? Their talent, whatever it is, right? Like for instance, D-Ham. Shout out to D-Ham. When D-Ham do his lives and he get in his moment, he start relating like Bible scriptures to like real life situations and how it's relatable to what we're witnessing or what he went through. And like that's a talent. Right? I can't relate no Bible stories to my stuff, but I could give you a psychology term. You know what I'm saying? I can give you real life experiences that I went through and then relate it to some of the stuff that we see and experience here together on social media. Right? If you spend that time working on your content, or even if you're not a content creator, as a supporter, whatever your thing is in life, right? If you spend time investing into that, perfecting that, you don't got time to hate on the next person and what they got going on because you too focus on what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And when you have a talent, right, you do it effortlessly. Like people who have contacted me for a bling order, they're like, "Oh my God." Like I was at a birthday party yesterday with my daughter, my kindergarten daughter, and one of the ladies, my middle daughter, my 13-year-old, came with me, and she had one of her tumblers that I stoned. And we were on the way out the door, and a woman stopped her and said, "Oh my God, where'd you get your tumbler?" And she's like, "Oh, my mom stoned it for me." And the lady looked at me like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I stone tumblers." All the questions started. You put them on individually. Oh, do you know how to do this? Oh, do you know how to do that? You know what I'm saying? So why are we wasting time trying to hate on or demonize somebody else instead of spending that time investing into our craft? You know what I'm saying? Making it better, or produce, just showing the world what you're made of. You know what I'm saying? We all have something, y'all. We're not all the same. We ain't gotta. Oh, you know what? I don't feel like investing in my craft. I don't feel like breaking down a story. So let me pull your background and humiliate you. What kind of bullshit is that? How, it just doesn't make sense, y'all. It don't make no sense to me at all. I just don't understand. Let me catch up. Um, Eddie says yes, making a great connection. Exactly. That's what it's for. Business connect. That's why when TikTok went down, people were panicking. Why? Because you only was relying on TikTok instead of actually working on, if you, like, people don't understand the importance of a brand, right? You see Ashley Chats, like that's a name. You know what I'm saying? You type in Ashley Chats, that's my name over on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So if I go down on TikTok, they might come look for me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. We could be spending time on how to build our business and our brand better instead of trying to figure out how we can tear down the next person because we feel threatened by them, or we don't like them, or we don't like what they said to us 3 years ago, or we got a text message from 5 years ago that we can expose so that they can look bad. Like the craziest shit ever. And with all that exposure stuff, y'all, if y'all pay attention, most of the exposures is on old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all not understand life? We evolve in life. We are not the same person. We change every day. We change all the time, y'all. So what if you showing some shit from 3 years ago? That obviously is not the same person. People's situations change. People's predicaments change. People's livelihoods change. We might not even be working the same damn job we was working 2 or 3 years ago. Right? I might be making more money or less money than I was making 2 or 3 years ago. So what is the point? It's just corny, y'all. It's so corny. And then it's crazy because people will be so ridiculous and actually form an opinion off of somebody off some old ass receipts. That shit is probably not a good representation of who you are before. There's people on here that I was in full fledged fights with that's chilling in my chat right now, and we don't have a single problem. It's all done. It's over. It's finished. So what would be the point of me being like, oh, remember last year when this person said this about me? Why? Why? What would be the point of that? Just corny. You're a salam. Hey, baby. Some of these people not thinking about what they are doing can be dangerous to their lives. Defaming people name and destroying people's life can be dangerous. All they're thinking about is money. Exactly, Latoya. And that's what I'm saying. They thinking that they're only destroying the person that they're doing it to, and you don't even understand the seeds that you're sowing back into your own life. And I wish people would release that whole get back, I'm gonna get this person back, I'm gonna hold this person, I'm gonna make this person humble and all that type of shit, because you're only just sowing bad seeds back into your life. What we gotta understand is sometimes we don't see the person reap the karma. That don't mean they ain't getting it. That's why you seeing people getting exposed, because you finding out some shit that you didn't know about somebody that happened to them in their life. That goes to show you, you don't always see what people going through behind closed doors, so you don't really need to interject and decide that you're going to give somebody some karma over some shit just because you don't like them. Child, boo. Alexis food makes me hungry every time. I be looking so damn good. It do. Hers and Miss Foxy. Miss Foxy be on it too. Thank you so much, Joanne. I appreciate that, baby. So true, Ashley. When you got a life to tend to, you wouldn't be on this app defaming and tearing someone down. Exactly. Okay, exactly. You can't convince me of nothing else. I've never seen nothing like this on social media till I came into this messy saga. I agree, Salam, and I kid you not, I've told so many people how much I regret it. Like honestly, I do. Like sometimes I'm like, you know what? Nah, like I mean, I don't regret everything because I have made some really great connections and people see me differently. Let's just say that, right? Like even in the ups and downs, some people had disconnected from me and chose not to support me and things. And then um after things played out and they saw things differently, it restored me in a lot of ways, right? So there are things and aspects that I am grateful for as it pertains to this saga, but then there's also a lot of things that I just wish, like for instance, I just wish I never had covered the story at all. If I'm honest, I wish to God I never touched this saga. I kid you not, like it stunted my growth on my platform. Before I came into the saga, I was steadily growing. You know what I'm saying? Like I was getting subscribers left and right. And so me getting caught up in all the riffraff and the back and forth and just constantly fighting for my page and all that type of, like, I never had to deal with that before I touched the saga. So it's a lot of things that I regret. But there are a few things that I am grateful for. So I mean, but hey, it is what it is. It's life. We live, we learn, and all you can do is do better. And when you know better, you do better. So it is what it is. Going to court, paying unnecessary money when you could just avoid the drama. Exactly, Salam. I agree. With friends like some of these YouTubers, who needs friends? Child, I wouldn't even call them friends at this point. It's too much because you think you got a friend and child, you be on the chopping block, you be on people panels and don't even know you being discussed. Like it's too much and it's stressful and it's very emotionally draining. You learn some valuable lessons, so it all served a purpose. Exactly, Lolita. I have to admit that I've learned a lot, Lolita. I kid you not. Like I've learned how to better protect my platform. I've learned different aspects on how to make my page better. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned a lot. I can't lie because I've been forced to. And I feel like I talked about this the other day when I was saying like how sometimes we go through things and we automatically think that it's bad. Like, oh, I'm going through all this and it's negative, and we don't realize that it can push you into a place where you learn something, right? Like you're forced to like that survival mode that you get pushed into sometimes, right? Like we don't realize how much it actually saves us. It can actually save you in so many ways. It can make you stronger. It can make you more resourceful. Like you will figure out a way, right? When you're pushed into a corner or when your back is against the wall. And I've learned that so much, especially honestly right here in 2025, probably the most. Like how you can, like sometimes you gotta stand 10 toes down. Like we love hollering on our lives, like I'm gonna stand 10 toes down, but sometimes y'all, you got to for real. Like you gotta stand on what you said, and when you get pushed into a corner where you have to, then you don't have a choice. So this internet has cost people their life. This internet can be dangerous. People better be careful out here. Nobody knows some of these people's mental health by talking to them. Exactly, Latoya. Exactly. Exactly. All the phone recordings, honey. Right, Salon. And you know what? With that, y'all, sometimes people, I think that is misunderstood, right? Like just like you can text someone, you can voice text somebody. So when you hear people playing audios, usually those are voice texts, not like you called me on the phone and I literally recorded your phone call. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to make that clear. Like a lot of these exposures and things is because technology has allowed us to now audio takes or whatever, which is faster instead of, especially if you got a lot to say, you can just hit the record and, you know, when you're done, send the text like that and they can just listen to it. So Ashley, have a good day. Got to get back to work. Oh, you too, Salam. Thank you so much for coming through, y'all. So I'm about to finish this out, but I do want to say this, right? People who practice Shaddam Freud, they judge and criticize others, for their failures and mistakes. Yet they become very defensive or upset if the same level of scrutiny or judgment has been placed on their own lives, right? People like to make excuses like, oh, well, when I did it, this was why, right? Like people like to justify their behaviors even when they are not justifiable, right? And so this creates like a sense of what I would call selective empathy, right? Which is where compassion is reserved for themselves or for their close circles, right? The people they care about in their life, but not extended to others. Which is just another level of hypocrisy as it pertains to this subject, right? And so people who practice Shaddam Freud often hold others to very high standards, expecting them to be perfect or always succeed. However, they rarely hold themselves to the same exact standards, right? And they are quickly able to find excuses when their own mistakes come to the light. And so they may expect others to be punished for their mistakes or flaws, but become, like I said before, defensive or outraged when their own shortcomings are exposed. And so it's just hypocritical. So what's the takeaway, y'all? The hypocrisy of people who practice Schadenfreude lies in the discrepancy between how they treat others' misfortunes and how they expect to be treated when their own lives are under scrutiny, right? I can scrutinize you, I can put you under the spotlight, I can zone in on something that you did wrong, but you cannot do that to me. It's very one-sided, right? Sometimes we always want grace for ourselves, but we don't or we won't necessarily extend it to others, right? So ask yourself, right? Do you enjoy watching people be humiliated or torn down or embarrassed, or just the misfortune of others in general? And if you do, why? Why is that? Does it validate you? Does it validate some level of insecurity within yourself? Like, does it make you feel like, oh, my life is not that bad after all? You know what I'm saying? Or do you take that moment and say, wow, like, this could be me? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you take that moment and say, "Damn, that's fucked up." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and let's be real here. When we all go through things, um, or I can just say me because I can't speak for y'all. When I go through anything, I start thinking, "Is this some karma? Like, is this something from? Is this from some shit I did?" Like, I kid y'all not. Like, anytime it's some shit that's bad, I be like, "Is this from some badass karma?" Like, I literally be sitting there trying to rethink over my life. You know what I'm saying? When I go through things. And I understand that not everything that you go through is karma, right? So don't let people convince you that things that you've gone through and experienced is because of some damn karma, right? Sometimes life just happens, right? Sometimes you could do everything right and shit could still go left, right? It's just like I was looking at the influencer. I think her name is Jessie Ward. She was a Caucasian woman. She got a form of cancer like 2 years ago. She was diagnosed in like February and she passed away in September, right? And when she was diagnosed, they told her she was stage 4 and she refused to take chemo. And so she gave this explanation, and she was saying that she basically was turning down chemo because she didn't like what it said. She didn't want to be bald, she didn't want to be sick, she didn't want to have a low quality of life. And she felt like if this was the end, that she wanted to go out with the bang, right? Like she wanted to go out strong, she wanted to go out with all of her hair, whatever. And that was her reasoning, right? And so it's so crazy. I watched an interview that she did literally like 10 days before she passed away. But before, like, and it was a great interview. She was good energy, good spirit. She was, she thought she was doing a damn thing, basically, right? And she had just had a PET scan, and they said that the cancer was stable, so she was happy about that, but she was still in some pain and she was just kind of muscling through it. But what I want to point out is that she was perfectly healthy, y'all, before she got sick. And the way they found the cancer was she demanded to get a full body MRI because she was on this new health journey. So she didn't even know that she had the cancer, and they found it on this MRI that she paid for or what have you. And the doctor was very honest with her and told her, hey, if you don't get chemo, you're not going to live past October. And she felt like she would. And unfortunately, she did not. She did pass in September, right? But I say all that to say, like, sometimes life just can treat you fucked up. Like, and I know that sounds crazy, and I don't want to come off as being classless, but sometimes you can do all the right things, right? Like this woman was like, she was like working for like those MLM companies, so she was on all these health drinks and working out and lifting weights. She was in a great, like she had a great physique, all of it. She was checking all the boxes, y'all, taking all her vitamins and all that, and she walking around with stage 4 cancer. You know what I'm saying? And can you imagine how she must have felt? Like she's in her prime. I believe she had gotten the title of one of the world's best marketers or something. Like she had a title, y'all. The lady was 35 years old when she passed away. Matter of fact, me and her were exact same age. I'm 37 now. She passed away 2 years ago. So I say all of that to say that sometimes you go through shit and it's not necessarily your karma. It's just your time. We all got to go through something. So don't let these people that like to expose people for content reasons or to demonize people so that they can feel better about their fucked up life or their fucked up past or their trauma that they never dealt with or whatever. Don't let people convince you that you going through some shit because you're a horrible person or you did something fucked up, right? Sometimes that's just the way life plays out. You can do all the right things. There are several people who have dropped dead for no reason. They had not a single freaking health issue and they died out of nowhere. Just had a heart attack and died. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. It happens. And that is the takeaway that I want y'all to have today. Don't get caught up in watching people suffer because it's not funny, y'all. We all go through shit. And it don't feel good when your ass is suffering. That's why we don't come out and tell people when we going through shit. And it's very invasive and disgusting for people to or you to confide that into someone and then they make a mockery of it and pick and poke fun, and make it content and shit as if we don't all go through some shit. And if it ain't us, it's somebody we know, somebody we love. So it is what it is. Hey Brittany, I can't see you, baby, but I see someone speaking to you. Let's see. All the phone recordings, honey. Yep. Ashley, have a good day. Okay, I read that one. I've connected with some cool people on this app. I'm not trying to become no one's best friend on here. I just want to have good conversations, laugh, and engage certain topics that I like. Exactly that one. Exactly. And honestly, I think that's what most people's intentions are as it pertains to this app. And then people try to spin it, because like I said, you can have an honest conversation with someone. And then when people get mad, they'll expose it and spin a narrative and make you look like the villain or like you were just this evil demon that was just like doing all type of, and that's the thing about we have to be careful about enjoying exposures of people's lives and things because people lie, y'all. People lie, and when you don't have the context of a conversation, right? Like all you see is what's on the screen. You don't know what was talked about before or after the conversation or even during. Because let's be real here, how many of y'all been on the phone with somebody and y'all text each other some shit that y'all talking about? Like, oh girl, look at this. Boom, send them a picture. Or oh, let me text you this information. Sometimes that happens, y'all. But then if someone presents it on social media and tells you some fucked up ass story behind it and you weren't there, all you have is what they're telling you. And now you will form a bias towards somebody based off of some one-sided ass bullshit story that didn't even happen. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't like this person all because of that and it was all a lie, right? Like I said, in this freaking saga, people have admitted to creating fake text messages. That shit is crazy. If you somebody like me who don't know how to make a fucking fake text message, you may or may not know that you looking at a fake ass text message. You know what I'm saying? And then now you don't believe or demonize or disconnect or detach yourself or form some false ass opinion about somebody and the shit wasn't even real. The shit's crazy. Hey Cynthia, welcome in, baby. I'm sorry I'm so late getting to your comment. I'm at work, just stopping by to show support to your channel. I appreciate it, Cynthia. Thank you so much, I Starve Narcs. I appreciate it. Hey Lolita. Yes, it does. I have done it. Right, Lolita, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Like, but that's social media, y'all. It's smoke and mirrors. And the fact that all this AI stuff is a thing now, that should tell you more than anything that sometimes the shit you looking at ain't real. Like some of these stories and shit, like when I find stories to present on my channel, I literally do a lot of research to make sure the shit even real. Because now people are creating AI stories that's not real, but they look real. The images look real and all that. Like that's why I spend extra time on my thumbnails because I don't want my shit to look AI at all. Like I hate the way AI look. To me, it looks fake. It don't look real. Anything that look too perfect ain't real. Like let's be real here. But anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to jump off of this live. I've been on a little over an hour and I don't want to take too much of y'all time, but I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. I hope you were able to get something from this live. Share it. Make sure you hit the like button. And I will catch you guys on my next one. I appreciate all of y'all that came through, liked the video, engaged in my chat, or whatever thing that you did to support my channel today. I love you all and have a great rest of your day. Bye.